event is coming soon. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator.
A man communicating with an extraterrestrial from Mars, taken seriously by the BBC, Levi in 1954. It's 2017, and we've had some shocking testimony given to us from high-ranking military personnel, politicians, and more. For example, Colonel Ross Didrikson, a high-ranking officer in the Air Force who held special positions at various points in his career dealing with nuclear weapons, the Atomic Energy Commission, and nuclear weapons storage facilities. He passed on in 2007. A long service with the Energy Commission between 1950 to 1958 included contract administration duties at Nevada test sites, Pacific Nuclear Test Area west of Hawaii, nuclear weapon manufacturing and quality assurance in Albuquerque, and inspection of nuclear and non-nuclear facilities throughout the country. Prior to his passing, he provided video testimony revealing that extraterrestrials have been around for a long time, and that they do not approve of our nuclear activities. He also revealed that extraterrestrials have shut down nuclear weapons in flight as well as our attempts to detonate and experiment with them, and he's not the only one to do so. This is a deep subject, and it's important to provide some information that shows that many high-level insiders have, time and time again, testified to the reality of intelligent extraterrestrial visitation. Many strange declassified documents deal with the subject as well. Communication with extraterrestrials. It was only a few weeks ago that Elon Musk said there most definitely are super-intelligent extraterrestrials out there, and he's not alone in this belief, as this is the general scientific consensus. He also said that if they do exist, they're probably already observing us and that we're just not smart enough to realize it. The question has now shifted from "are we alone?" to "are they visiting us now?" Opinions vary widely, but the evidence for their presence is impressive. Why we, and many others, feel this way, as the implications of this realization are huge and open up endless philosophical questions. The UFO/extraterrestrial field is ripe with stories and accounts of both physical and telepathic human contact. The example is of George King, an ordinary citizen who was contacted by an extraterrestrial intelligence in 1954, known to him as Etherius, whom he said was a highly evolved extraterrestrial from Mars, and part of an alliance of several intelligences from other planets. Now, if you think this is impossible given what we know about those planets, well, it turns out we don't know as much as we thought we did. For example, Mars is not the dry arid planet we once thought it to be. NASA scientists recently held a press conference revealing some astonishing facts about extraterrestrial life on Mars. We published an article about 3 NASA scientists discussing extraterrestrial life on Mars, hinting that some strange things are going on there right now. Another one that goes into detail about extraterrestrial life on or around the rings of Saturn. He is describing his initial contact experience, where both telepathic and physical face-to-face communication occurred. The 1954 interview, and the message being transmuted. The interview aired shortly after the contact experience, and it was taken seriously by the BBC as well many of its viewers. To think that this person gained national attention so soon after his contact experience is amazing, but we do know that military and intelligence agencies did and do keep tabs on people who supposedly have contact with intelligent extraterrestrials. They have even tried to acquire knowledge from experts in this area. For example, here is an intelligence agency document, dated just a few years before this interview, 1950, inquiring about a letter written by someone with several university degrees and a former university department head and addressed to certain scientists of distinction, to aeronautical and military authorities, and to a number of public officials. On pages 21 and 22, it describes the craft they use, their biological makeup, and more. Keep in mind the document could be discussing one extraterrestrial group out of several that have probably been catalogued by our government. It's long past the time to take these people seriously and hear what they have to say, The synchronicity evident between the millions of contact testimony alone makes this subject worth paying attention to. Also, please keep in mind that this interview was taken during one of the biggest UFO waves in history. After we dropped the A-bomb, they were everywhere, so much so that President Truman made an appearance on live television saying that they discuss this topic at every conference that they've had with the military, that there are always things like that going on. Flying saucers, and they've had other things. Before the massive wave of secrecy hit this subject in the late 195s, it was a popular and common topic of conversation. So what is going to happen now? Further information disclosure, or a continued campaign of secrecy? They stress the dangers of atomic experimentation, and also turn back to what they call the laws which are God if we are to survive on this earth. They refer to the laws as laid down by Jesus, and Buddha, Krishna, and other great teachers who came to the earth to lead us throughout the ages. It's interesting that he mentions atomic experimentation. This interview was conducted in 1952, and the similarities for our own time are striking, considering all the information about nuclear energy, weapons currently arising with the extraterrestrial topic. In the interview he goes on to describe physical contact experiences his mother had, as well as how the extraterrestrials shared more information about their concerns with how we treat our environment. They also hint at forthcoming disasters that could occur if we do not change our ways. On the show, he also received some information from extraterrestrial intelligence. Is this a real transmission that's being beamed out to the world via live television? We have indeed been visiting this Earth of yours for some 18 million of your Earth years. At the moment, Earth, as you call it, faces a certain situation. This situation can be described as rather a dangerous one. You are liable to upset the balance of your Earth through, number 1, atomic experimentation, and number 2, your deviation from the spiritual laws. He claims, as many others do today, that the reasons for their visitation are directly related to the claims above. The vehicles that you call flying saucers are quite physical. The common spiritual theme of extraterrestrial contact. Whenever we discuss this topic, and move on from asking whether they are here to why they are here, we will always end up with labels of gods, demons, angels, and more. Human beings love to categorize and judge things they do not understand. But if we take a step back and look at the evidence objectively, we'll see that the most common theme in contact stories is care for our planet, as well as a spiritual understanding of ourselves and the nature of the universe. This becomes even more acceptable to those of us who research quantum physics and neuroscience, as many aspects of these subjects are catching up to ancient Eastern spiritual philosophies. It's quite interesting, to say the least. This is why, for me personally, I take great interest in the spiritual nature of things, and, when it comes to extraterrestrial contact, there is no better place to realize the spiritual connection from a mainstream perspective than by studying the beliefs of indigenous cultures. See his video interview. The link is in the article below in our description.
Please like us and share with your social media. Please subscribe and click the bell to be notified of our new videos.
Remember to check out our playlist for important intel you may have missed.
Be sure to enter our subscriber appreciation $100 monthly giveaway. The link is in our description.
And visit our sister channel. Event is coming soon. For additional intel and information, stay tuned. Victory.